Easy. What's going on, man?
What's going on, 16?
Chilling, man. Another episode of the Aftermath. We up here. You know what we do? We interview the interesting guests on this show. And, what's funny is that, I got to keep remembering that some people might be hearing or seeing us for the first time. So, in saying that handsome face that you see over there with the OK Boomer shirt on, that's Easy. I'm M16, and you are checking out the radio show, The Aftermath. Now, the radio show, we're basically a hip hop variety show. We play games, we drop shows every week, and we basically just talk through the issues of the day, whatever that might be, and we add in some humor and some other things. But when we're not doing that particular type of show, we're doing what you see here is The Aftermath, where we get interesting guests and we interview them in long form. So today, Easy, we got a gentleman by the name of Keedar Whittle. Now, man, look, you know me, all right? When we do these interviews, I do my homework. But with this dude, man, he has so much stuff, man. I literally had to do homework for real to get everything that we needed for him. So let's not waste any more time. Let's just go ahead and talk to him. Appreciate you, taking out the time to come and talk to us today, man.
Absolutely. Thanks, man. Tough being a Falcons fan.
You said it's tough being a Falcons fan?
Yeah.
It's tough on us right now, too.
Y'all got hope, though. Y'all got hope.
He said we got hope.
Hope ain't been getting it done for us, though.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's more promising. Like as a Falcons fan, in your gut, it ain't gonna happen. You just know, just in your gut, But every year you wake up as if it is the year that it will happen.
That's the beauty about being a fan, though. That's the beauty about being a fan.
Define beauty, could look different ways.
I mean, yes. Does your team stab you in the spine? Yes, they do. And what do we all
have? Y'all won one? We
have, but it was a long time ago.
Damn, how long is a long time ago? You remembered not that long ago.
Yeah, it was 2010, 2009. Yeah.
What do you think? You the Patriots? Not the Patriots.
I'm just saying.
Y'all got one. We don't have one, bro.
It's a fair point because a lot of my friends who don't have rings, and my brother will tell you, they curse at us. Like I got a buddy of mine that's a Detroit Lions fan. He's like
sucks.
Yeah, because when I'm like, yo, we should have at least 3. He's like, dude, I want to fight you right now. He's like, you up here talking about you should have more when you have 1 and I have nothing. I've not even won a playoff game. And you said you
hadn't even won a playoff game.
Yes.
Did some news come across the screen? Is that why you brought up the Falcons?
Well, because he can see the background back here.
Oh, okay.
I smelled his background.
Oh God!
Oh, you smelled it. Oh wow!
Wow. So we starting off on the right foot already here.
I'm about to say this is gonna be fun.
Yes, it is. So, Keedar, I gotta tell you, man, before we get into the meat of this interview, that I was just saying when we were doing an intro that I do my homework on the people that we talk to, and I literally had to carve out a weekend for you for all the stuff that you have going on. Right. Like, it was another job for me. Like, you got so much stuff. There's so much there that I'm like, it's almost hard to know where to start with you. But again, like I said in the beginning, I appreciate you, taking out the time to talk to us. You have an interesting story that people need to know about. And like I said, again, appreciate the time today.
Yeah, man. I'm excited.
So let's just start with the beginning. Let's just start at the beginning with your journey. And can you tell us about your upbringing and how that helped shape your work ethic and your drive?
Yeah, born and raised Atlanta, College Park. Mother and father, dad sold insurance while I was young. Mom has always been in education. Played sports. My uncle played in the NBA for like 14 years. So I grew up around basketball. My dad, they're from New York. So it was big in sports. That's all I did. Sports. I played basketball, baseball. That was my two main things. Got good grades in school. Life was good, man. Got to high school. That's when life became like, oh, grown. High school, I went to Woodward Academy, which is a private school, and played basketball. Got a basketball scholarship. Ended up getting kicked out. Got kicked out of Woodward.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, okay, all right. This is real. This is like my first time, like bad guy, you know? But then went to another school and finished playing ball there. But Woodward was my first taste of what money looked like for real. Like my uncle had it, you know what I'm saying? Like Rolls Royces, Benzes, and all that. But I seen a G-Wagon in the 90s and was like, like a dude was driving it to school. I was like, bro, what is that? And how did you get it?
Say, how can I be down? Like
trying to learn. He was like, oh, my dad bought it from his lawyer. Wait, why your daddy got a lawyer? But my dad always taught money. And my dad, he one of them powerful, like he teaches you I grew up listening to motivational tapes because of him. You know what I'm saying? Like he one of them dads that he put that entrepreneurial spirit in you, and he kind of militant. He don't like work man, even though he work for the man. But he always taught us don't work for nobody, do it yourself. So that's where I kind of get my sports and my like entrepreneurial spirit from.
No, that's good to know about that, knowing where that was built at. And it sort of leads me into my next question about, we were talking a little bit about your diverse background and all the many things that you've had going on. So you've done from acting to comedy, because I seen you got a comedy special out there. Yeah. Now it's education, you're an entrepreneur. So you're able to wear a bunch of hats. So how are you able to deliver 100% to each one of these different endeavors?
You can't. You can't. It's impossible. It's impossible for me to go do as many open mics as I need to be the best comedian out there if I'm going to run a successful business, because I need to get up early. It's impossible. So you do what's needed at the time so you can go do some other things. At some point, I will no longer step foot into my companies. I'll go develop something else. But I was able to do all these things at different pockets of my life, which is fun. Now that I am at a certain point within the company, I can get more into acting again and more into comedy again.
No, that's a real answer, because I appreciate your candor with that, because you flat out said it's not possible. Because some people will try to give you this, they'll paint this rosy picture of trying to grind and do 4 or 5 different things. So that's good, man, that you're able to know that you have limits and you know which way how many different ways you can spread yourself.
Right.
No, that's good.
You also need to be diligent with your time, because you can get more out of things quicker if you're diligent with time.
It's real talk. So again, we are talking to Keedar Whittle. He is the rock star of education. That's what it says, the rock star of education. Now, I had to, it's so many things, I had to keep a checklist of it. So you can check him out on Instagram at Keedar. You can see it on the screen right there. Also on IG at Educators Now. On YouTube, you got the Black to School podcast. Yeah. On LinkedIn, you can search Keedar Whittle, and his website is keedarwhittle.com. EZ, do you have something for the resident Falcons fan who's hoping for hope?
What's up, Key? I'm not going to let you get away with just casually mentioning that your uncle played in the NBA for 14 seasons. So first of all, who the hell is your uncle? And what did he teach you along the way to kind of, he had money. So how did he inspire you to go get your own bread?
He old school, man. He retired in '89. World be free.
Wait, hold on. For real?
Yeah.
Man, for real?
Yeah.
It's still... Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to jump in your... Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. 16 sounds like you gotta
No, I'm just
handle
amazed.
something.
Like every minute when I feel like, okay, I've uncovered almost everything I can about Keedar, he just throws another one in there
But
too.
that's what I'm saying. He said it so casually. And I'm shocked that you didn't ask the follow-up question before me, but he said it so casually. I'm like, there's no way he's getting out of here without talking about this a little bit. Because
it was a good experience, man. I mean, I got on flights early in life. I experienced some finer things in life earlier. But it was the summer, my 10th grade. I knew then I wasn't gonna make it to the NBA. And he knew too.
because you already knew what it took to get there.
He already knew what it took to get there. And I wasn't doing those things. And so he kind of knew. He knew then. But I mean, I ain't know, bro. I still think I got it. You know what I'm saying? And I did. I was still murdering, like still really good. You know what I'm saying? But get to that next level. But the great thing about it is just how I'm able to tell you, I remember what I should have been doing, how I should have been doing it, and I can apply that to my life now.
So I got two questions for you then about entrepreneurship. So my first question is, how hard is it for you to trust somebody else with your business? Because at some point, like you said, the business is going to grow and you're going to have to hire people to handle the business for you. So how tough was that for you at first?
It's still tough.
Because you basically got to trust them from the start, right?
Bruh, from the literally sent an email a week ago that said, "Hey, I need y'all to teach me how y'all do what y'all do." Because I don't know what they do anymore. So I said, I need y'all to teach me because something is hard to let go. Because especially where I'm at, what if somebody leave? Like, I got key employees that if they decided to leave tomorrow, God forbid something happened to them tomorrow, I literally got to pull out the SOPs to see what I got to do. But even then, the business is so personal. SOP is not going to tell you a name. I mean, at the end of the day, business still got to keep going.
Yep.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's tough, but a way you can do it, and it's easier this way, is to you can hire independent contractors. So you don't necessarily have to hire an employee right away. But if there's an aspect of your business that you no longer have the time to do, hire an independent contractor to do it. That way it's no real relationship kind of, other than if they doing a good job, you keep them around. Another easy way to do it is hire someone to do the job. If it's time to hire an employee, make sure you hire somebody to do the job that you absolutely hate to do. Hire somebody to do that job. That way, you be happy that you ain't got to do that no more. You know what I'm saying? So it's not as hard to trust somebody with that. You whew, get that off my plate now. And then the third thing that when it comes to hiring is I fire fast and hire slow. When I say it's time for me to hire somebody, so I just hired my directors wanted to hire assistants. And I was like, cool. They'll start in January. And this is like October when they brought the idea to me. I said, they'll start in January. They was like, nah, they'll be ready to start by the end of November. I said, okay, they'll start in January. And when we went through the process of finally hiring somebody, it was a week before Christmas. So when they coming into the office, oh, they just gonna start the Monday after New Year. Yeah, I told you. You got to take your time hiring somebody, and that's another way you can trust. You know that.
And then my last question for you before I swing it back over to my brother. What advice would you give to somebody that's thinking about going into entrepreneurship but have no idea like what they want to do?
Write it down and do it. Just start it. Just start doing it. I don't know what. Just do what you think you're supposed to be doing. Just do that, and then talk to people. Listen to podcasts. Go on YouTube. Talk to people. But you learn on the fly. I learn every day. I learn every day. I just learned that you have to give someone a verbal offer before you actually send them an offer letter. I said, wait, what? I didn't know that. And my director of HR I said, nah, just send them the letter. They need to hurry up and start. She was like, Keedar, I got to call and do a verbal first. I said, what? She was like, yeah. Pulled out the rule books on me. I said, oh, my bad. I just learn as you go. If you got product, if a lot of people got product, learn as you go. Manage by the numbers. Be very detailed with your numbers, though.
No, that's facts. You got a wealth of knowledge that's clear. You know, you can plainly see that, and it's coming from a place where, you've been to certain places, you're going other places, but it comes out very confident that you know where you're headed to. So, Keedar, I wanted to jump into where we're talking about the many professions and diving deeper into that. So, the things that you're into, and speaking about acting and then comedy. So, which one of those would you say is more difficult, and which one of them would you say you enjoy more?
Comedy is way more. Comedy is way more difficult than acting.
I can see that.
Comedy is way more difficult than acting, for sure. Because acting, I don't necessarily have to know the lines with acting. There could be no lines at all with acting, and you can understand whatever story I'm about to tell. Silent films. Hello. Comedy can be the same if it was physical comedy, but if we're talking about stand-up comedy, I don't know if someone can do a movies or a full length worth of silent comedy if it's supposed to be stand-up comedy. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So with stand-up, you have to put in that time. And you have to know who you are on stage, which makes it hard.
Yeah, I my understanding was that I figured that comedy would probably be the more difficult out of the two, because making people laugh, when you're in your circle of friends is one thing, but then when you're in front of an audience tasked of some of these people, they don't know who you are, they don't know you personally, and you got to go out there and try to hit a chord with them to try to get laughter out of them. So that's got to be sometimes intimidating, I'm guessing.
And that first joke better work.
So
if that first joke don't work, that second joke better work. If that second joke don't work, while you climbing up a mountain, you better do something to get them back.
So have you been in a spot like that before, where you go up there and like you fully confident, you ready to roll, and you go up there and you tell that first one, and it's like,
bruh. So I'm hot on TV, right? I'm on BET at that. I'm hot. I come into town. My sister was like, "Oh, I'm going to this comedy show tonight. You should come through." All right. I'm on the road. I'm doing comedy, but I ain't been on the road in like 3 months. So I've been on stage. I hear they doing a comedy show on the radio and everything. Griff, he down there. Uptown Comedy Corner in Atlanta. Legendary. So my sister, she there with her homegirls and everybody in VIP. The room is packed. And Uptown, one of them rooms where like you get your skin at Uptown. You know what I'm saying? Like it's one of them black rooms that you come through and that's what you do. Kevin Hart, like he come through, used to sell out Uptown because that's what, you know, black folks gonna come see him.
Yep.
So I get down there. It's a shake your keys show. When they ready for you to get off the stage, they shake their keys. The dude that went on before me, somebody threw the keys at him. He was so bad. Like it's one of them type shows. So I run into Griff. I say, Griff, Keedar, hell date. I be doing stand-up too. Put me on. He was like, oh, you do comedy too? I said, yeah. So he was like, all right. Griff get on stage. Hey, y'all. And Griff got a raspy boy.
Yeah, Griff impersonation is really good, man.
He do gospel now. He on the gospel radio station now.
He does?
Yeah.
Man, things changed, man, because that was Griffey 2K back in the day, you know.
Exactly. Yeah. he was like, hey, this dude. He on TV or something. He say he funny. He doing comedy now. I was like, oh shit. I was like, nigga, I'm already set up. So I get out there, man, and I'm working. I was like, you know, I'm gonna just work on some new stuff. I'm working on these new jokes I've been working on. Not telling none of my old stuff. Man, I get on stage. I said, hey, man, y'all ever be making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and you put your peanut butter knife into the jelly and your daddy said, hey boy, don't be putting that peanut butter in the jelly. And everybody was like, bruh, I heard somebody suck their teeth. Bruh, and then I tried to say another joke and that didn't work. And then somebody said, "What? You on hell date? Get your ass off stage."
Now, ain't nobody throw no keys at you, did they?
Ain't nobody throw no keys. And then this one girl was like, "Dang, I used to like you." I was like, I'm talking about
used to.
Soul was crushed, bruh. Doing stand-up in Atlanta. That's why I be so many like dudes that do like people that do stand-up in Atlanta, they could go anywhere in the world and do stand-up. Like ain't nothing thicker than Atlanta stand-up.
Oh, they don't play. I mean, same thing with hip hop. It's like if you going up there and it ain't right, man. I didn't see you said you saw, you know, people throwing keys. I didn't see people who were smoking who would throw what they smoking at people. Like,
jeez.
Yes, they're like, get them up off of there. So
Yeah.
how'd you bounce back? Like that happens. How do you you know? What'd you do to just bounce back from that?
Oh, first thing I did was throw that joke away. That's the first thing.
All right, scratching that one off the
Yep.
Thing I did. And then I quit. I quit comedy, and then I said, "Oh no, I need to figure this out because I can't go back there and not be right." So I like, let me write. I need to get back to writing, and that's what I did. Atlanta made you throw all your jokes away.
I like I said, I just kind of figured that when we're talking about the profession of which one is harder, it just seems like comedy is harder, and when you find your groove, you find your groove. But it just seemed like it's difficult.
Right. You know what made me hesitate about that? Because road comedy is not bad. Road comedy is like when you go to like the Improv, Toledo, Ohio. Man, them folks are ready. You could say, "Oh, I pooed it before I came up here." He pooed it.
He said pooed it.
Right. But those shows are something, man. I had so much fun traveling with my bro Finesse Mitchell for so many years. It was just love going to eat to the city.
That's all good. And I got one more here for before I toss it back to my brother here. I mean, we're talking about your background as far as like entertainment and stuff. So I wanted to talk about educators now and what you guys are doing to help the youth. You're putting educators in the best position to do what they do best, which is teach. Can you speak to how that idea came about, like how that was born, and then from the point where it was born to how it's grown to now?
My mama, shout out to my mama. Now, my mother, she's a retired educator at Atlanta Public Schools. So she got bored and would send us 15 forward emails a day. And we was like, you need to go get a job if he's too young for you to retire. So she did. She became a director at a childcare facility. And, childcare facilities are regulated by ratios. And so you have to have so many teachers per students. And so my mom used a service, but the guy that she used she didn't like the quality of people that he would bring. And she thought I could do a great job at that business. Well, I'm relocating back to Atlanta. I've never worked. I really never worked for anyone, or it's been so long since I've worked. I need to do something. So my mom was like, you need to do this business. I was like, all right. So she kind of just told me what it is, and I did a layout, and I went for it. And I started the business in 2016. We got our first partnership in October of 2017. Had 12 schools, and it was it was beginning of October, and I was like, man, I just can't figure out why this thing ain't popped yet. Like, this is a great idea. I'm interviewing people. I got teachers ready to work, and then my wife was like, well, maybe you just go bartend somewhere. Just put some money in your pocket. Then I was like, no, I need to do this more. I need to dedicate more time to this. And 2 days later, I get a call. Hey, we wanna start using the service for. I was like, bam, and it was like 12 schools instantly, just like that. So I started, and I mean, we have grown from that 12 schools to now over 70 schools in these 4 years. We have grown from, I remember when my payroll was $5,000 a week, which is a lot of money. It was so much money, I had to borrow $5,000 from my dad, like twice, and was like, I'll give it to you next week because I know I'm getting some checks, but I ain't got it right now, and I need to pay my people. And I wasn't on no salary or nothing like that. He let me borrow some money. My cousin, he let me borrow $5,000 a couple times just to make payroll. I remember those days to now, my payroll is well over $1 million a year.
Wow.
And it's like, but it's it's like crazy how fast it has grown. But when I think about numbers from that perspective, yes, that is a metric, sure. But what it really says to me is that we've been able to be that influential within schools. That like our work, like that's how much more we can impact scholars. And that's what I think about when I think about the growth.
Because it's definitely legit. Just in doing my homework and seeing it, it's like it's something that you never know was needed out there, and you're providing a service and a need that probably should have been, more aggressively handled even from the beginning. And you found a market for that, and you're making a name for yourself doing that, and it's just admirable to see that. Yeah. So, and you putting in the work to do it. So, yeah.
Yeah, man, it's cool. It's cool on both sides, though. Here, yes, we definitely provide quality educators for the schools, but it's a lot of people that don't know that they can actually be a substitute teacher or how to get into the education industry. So we're getting people jobs. Like,
Yeah.
man, I wish there was a way for people to know that we exist more so that they can call us and say, hey, I need a job. There's at least a 1,000 people per county that could use a job. And if they just knew that, they could call us and possibly get a job, then we'll be way out of here.
But I said you well on your way to it. And again, just to reiterate, we are talking to Keedar Whittle. I got to say it again, the rock star of education. You put it out there. That's the name there, the rock star of education. So you can catch him on Instagram at Keedar, also at Educators Now LLC. Search YouTube for the Black to School podcast. He's on LinkedIn at Keedar Whittle, and his website is keedarwhittle.com. Easy, I know you've been waiting to jump back in there, man. You got something else for Keedar, man. The hopeful Falcon fan.
Just a little jabbing that in there.
Got to do it.
I know you've done a lot of networking and you've met a lot of people throughout your career or multiple careers, however you want to call it. Have you met anybody that you were just like starstruck by, or somebody that you were like, wow, I never thought that I'd be here with this person right now?
Chappelle for sure. Like, I've been around Chappelle a couple of times because of Finesse. What's crazy is Finesse Mitchell's on SNL, and my boy Keenan and I actually grew up together. We grew up at church together, Hillside off Cascade, and then ended up going to that
Keenan Thompson.
Yeah, and ended up going
Jesus,
to
man, this guy.
You see how he just talks about,
man.
World
That's what I'm
be
saying,
free.
just casually.
Yeah,
dude.
he's like, world be free, Keenan Thompson, whatever. Yeah.
His number's in my phone.
Yeah,
not the work phone.
The Falcons might not be winning, but Keedar's winning. So,
right, it is. I mean, it is. So I'll go up to Finesse dressing room because I used to go to all the SNL shows. I go to the Finesse dressing room. Finesse is in there with this dude Max, and Max got this model chick with him. So Keedar was like, Finesse was like, Keedar, Max, Keedar. All right, cool. Finesse left to go shoot something. And so I'm like, oh, how you know Finesse? They're like, oh, just being around. Where you live? In Brooklyn. But I got a spot in Manhattan too. All right, cool. Just shooting it. And so Finesse come back in. He was like, hey, Max, I've been working on my music. When we gonna do some music? And I was like, oh, that's what's up, man. You do your little music or something? And Finesse was like, Keedar, this is Maxwell Max. I was like, I said, well, you mean
he didn't use the full name, so that threw you off.
Yeah. Because he had disappeared. And this is right when he was making a comeback and got skinny and had no hair, low hair, like different. And it was cool, you know what I'm saying? But just them New York days where we partied with anybody that came through SNL. Lindsay Lohan, the Paris Hiltons, we partied at the 4040 Club, Jay-Z. Derek Watkins, who is Farnsworth Bentley, was also living in New York at the time. And obviously hanging out with Derek, anybody showed up. Diddy played. I remember partying with Diddy several nights. Like, it's Gronk in Vegas. The Gronk in Vegas, killer.
So, best person to turn up with, or that you have turned up with?
Turn up, Gronk.
Absolutely, yeah.
Gronk.
Yeah.
Turn up, Gronk all day. And
I
he'll
can see that.
take shots and he do beers. He's beer you down.
Is he like the typical white guy, like, hey, that's my dog Key. Hey, buy him some, man. Hey, hook him up with some.
He'll
Man, that's the best.
He'll pick up the bar and put it right in front of you. That's how strong he is too.
Hey man, so Gronk. So what we see of him, that personality that we see, that's what he is too. He's just like
no games at all. That is him all day. Such a great guy.
So what's the connection? How'd you get in connection with Gronk?
Finesse. We was in Vegas partying. Finesse know everybody.
Sound like you know everybody too, though, man. You can't just say
shit, man. Yeah.
I know of everybody.
Nah. It sounds like you know some folks. Like my brother said, it was just kind of like, let me just slide this in here,
Hey, I will say this though. The most money, the biggest entourage I've ever been a part of, and it was, let's say it was 20 cars deep. I was car number 19. I wasn't the last dude, but I was car number 19. That's how far removed I was. Floyd Money Mayweather.
Man.
I'm talking about like crazy. And he don't even drink, but everybody had the biggest and craziest Floyd Money Mayweather.
I'd heard
just because of the amount of stacks that you just surrounded by. I can imagine. Like just all the money and all the.
It was unbelievable. Now,
it's crazy.
If anybody is listening that is a partner in school, this was pre. I'll
put up on the screen disclaimer for statute of limitation. I'll make sure to drop that in there.
Everybody got pre-line. This is pre. I just swear.
That's funny.
Man, that is. I just got this feeling that I'm saying easy that Keedar got more stuff that he might even be just holding back. I'm waiting on who next person he gonna casually drop in here, man, because we done had 10, 12 names. We were just like, oh yeah, Max, or my uncle's World Be Free. We just tossing that around like that. So Keedar, I got a couple more for you, and then we got this little game that we like to play with our guests and everything. But I wanted to talk to you about your podcast, the Black to School podcast. And I know you and I had like a brief convo before you even came on the show where you mentioned about your love for, historically Black universities and colleges and everything. So I know it's centered around that pride that comes from going to a historically Black college. So can you just, kind of run through like what's the format when it comes out, and where do you see this podcast going in the coming weeks, months as you continue to grow it out?
Yeah, man, I appreciate that. Yeah, Black School Podcast on all platforms, all one word, IG, YouTube, everywhere. We are on wherever you listen to your podcast. You find us there, Black to School Podcast, all one word. And my line brother brought it to me, and we both graduated from Norfolk State. And he was like, LB, I want to do a podcast where we highlight successful people from Norfolk State. Now, me being the producer that I am, was like, LB, that's a great idea, but we should open it up to all HBCUs. And he was like, that's what I really wanted to do, but I thought the idea was too big. I was like, bro, never, let's do it. So the purpose is we want to highlight successful stories of people that are currently at an HBCU, alumni, or affiliated with an HBCU. And it's our hope that we increase engagement, enrollment, and endowments. There are some students that are thinking about like what school should I go to, and we want to let them know that HBCU is a viable option. There are some parents that have a huge influence on where their kid goes to college. You want to give parents the confidence that their kid want to go to an HBCU. Like here are successful people from HBCUs. They don't have to go to PWI route. And then people who weren't even thinking about college, and they seeing what people are doing and the connections and how to make the moves, or it wasn't even a focus for them. Like, maybe they get into it. So I mean, that's really what it's about. So it's been great so far. We've already launched. We launched 2 weeks ago. We actually launched February 25th because that's when the first HBCU Cheney University opened up its doors. And so we've been releasing the episode every Wednesday. We're shooting about 40 this season. Who knows how many we'll shoot next season? But the goal is to be at everybody's homecoming. It's the Tuesday event, the Wednesday event. We invite 3 successful people from your school, do the podcast live at every school. Just really bring that focus to the HBCU life.
Do you think there's a bigger microscope on HBCUs now than ever before?
Ever before. And it's some folks that's giving real money, not this fake NBA $3 million money. There's some folks out there giving real money to HBCUs. There was a white author, I forgot her name.
Well, I know Jeff Bezos' wife has been shelling out money left and right.
I'm talking about
ex-wife.
Ex-wife. I'm talking about 40,000 here, 100,000 here, 300 million here. And I'm like, yo, what? I wonder why. I wonder why. I'm thankful. Let me start there.
Okay.
Grateful for the new interest and action. I just wonder why. Because the lady that's giving the 100 million, all right, cool. But for the NBA to get 3 million, what is that so y'all can say y'all down for the cause? Because they do a lot to be down for the cause. I will say that. They do a lot. But I don't understand. I'm just trying to figure out why is there so much interest now.
I would say the climate. If you look back at, I mean, it's always been around, but if you look specifically at last summer, the George Floyd thing,
right?
It, to me, and we talk about it on the show all the time, that, a lot of people like saying that they did something versus I really did something about it. Like you were saying, it sounds good to say, hey, I donated this, I did this part, like I'm doing my part by that.
You know what? And I always talk about solution-based thinking, and I always anticipate. So let me try to move the conversation forward. Now the question should be, how do we carry this momentum and make it worth it? How do we take these extra funds that we are given to build, to now own the land around the schools so that we can continue to grow this village? How do we sustain the attention or the gratitude that has been given? That's the conversation that I hope each HBCU and alumni, I haven't been able to go to a meeting, but I hope that is the conversation.
Yeah. I'll say one of them, bringing that part up is about staying focused. If it's in the moment and the spotlight is on it, you need to take advantage of it while more eyes and ears are on it than ever before. You should take advantage, we should all be taking advantage of that part of it, since it seems like it's a big topic of conversation. And we know we got a way to go. It's clear we still got a way to go. I mean, a long way to go.
Long way.
But to be the topic of conversation, you got to strike while it's hot and pay close attention to it.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So, kid, I got one more for you. And like I said, we got this little question game that we like to play with our guests. So, I mean, again, you already do so much casually just tossing out stuff. But through all this, you got educators now.
Mm-hmm.
You're on BET.
Mm-hmm.
You're on The Walking Dead, for God's sake. You got your IMDb. Like I said, I had to carve out time where I literally, like I said, I had to carve out time. I was like, okay, learn about keto. It's like, oh my God, I got to really pay attention.
The man told you to Google him.
He did.
You
Yes.
know?
I told my brother about that. Keto
he said, I don't just have a Facebook page, okay? Like, you're going to find me on multiple things. There's going to be a lot of stuff that pulls up.
He was like, you know what? He was like, just Google me, all right? Just Google me. And that's a bona fide. When you tell somebody to Google you, that's serious.
Like that, bro, not like that. Because it was about to be a long conversation. I was like,
yeah,
because we were like this, because we were clicking. It felt like, you know, we knew each other already.
Right.
And he was like, look, let me just, you know, let's save something for the air, and let's just Google me and you'll see what you need to see. Yeah. But in saying all that, and of course I didn't take it like that. I just thought it was hilarious. I couldn't wait to go back and tell everybody, like, yo, I was sorry, Keedar, he just said Google me. Like, that's like the most awesome, like my brother said, the bona fide. You toss that out there and it's like, okay, that's legit right there. You don't just tell somebody. But in saying that, and everything that we spoke about with you, what's next? Where do you see all of this go? Like, what's next for you? You got all this stuff that you've done already, and obviously there's still way more to go. So what's something that you haven't tried that'll be the next thing?
I'm gonna tell you what's immediate, and then I'll tell you the goal. One thing that we didn't mention was during the pandemic, you know, entrepreneurs figure out ways to make pivots. And so 2 years from now, well, 2022, I was supposed to start a tutoring company, Tutors on Demand. Well, because of COVID, I've pushed that timeline forward and started COVID. I started during COVID. So I started another company called Tutors on Demand. And instead of sending teachers into schools, we deployed teachers into parents' homes to help with the virtual learning. We also do customized tutoring as well to make sure students are mastering those skills that's needed before going to the next grade level, or if they need help with test taking or whatever. That company is doing great because we market to those individuals that can afford it. But there are tons of scholars that literally cannot afford our service. And I'm not talking about the ones that live in the hood and they folks figure out how to get the Jordans when they come out or the PS5 when they come out. I'm talking about there's some kids that who parents just can't afford it. And statistics are showing that our scholars are going to be anywhere from 18 to 24 months behind due to virtual learning. So our company, Tutors on Demand, we're in the process of raising $150,000 to give free tutoring for those scholars in needs. We're going to pull from our schools that we already service and just do their schools and neighboring schools just to make sure these kids master the skills. Because next year, school is going to look different. Them teachers are going to be tired because they're going to have to reteach everything that they were supposed to learn for the last 2 years. Because when you think about virtual learning, when I think about regular learning, like I'm not that smart, but I use context clues. I literally looked at the teacher and saw what she was about to say. I read her lips. I heard what she said. She wrote it on the board. It's context clues all around the classroom to remind you what we're learning about. During that virtual one, we don't even know if they have the bandwidth within their home to be on virtual learning. Like, we don't even know if they got the right internet for it to be strong enough for them to actually learn the lesson. And then when they on the internet, what you heard all year? What did you hear all year? Put your phone on mute. Put your computer on mute. What second grader is going to raise their hand and ask a question if they don't understand something? What third grader is going to do it? Maybe by the time you're in fourth grade, you got the courage to do it. But the younger kids not. So now we depend on somebody that's at the house helping them. What if that person what if they don't have the capacity to do it because they got to do their own work just to make sure the bills get paid? So now a second grader or a third grader kind of on their own. And we really can't think these scholars for the last 2 years really got the everything they need to be to the next grade. So that's where we're trying to come in and fill in that gap. So that's immediate. And if anybody wants to donate, you can go to tutorsondemandllc.com. There's a link on there. The campaign is called Saving Our Scholars. Saving Our Scholars. tutorsondemandllc.com. Now, within education, I'll have about 5 different companies under that umbrella. I just jumped into the real estate game as well. Ultimate goal is to buy a building in Atlanta called 191 Peachtree Street, move the Hawks headquarters to the top 5 floors, because I also want to buy the Hawks. On one of them floors is going to be the best restaurant, one of the best restaurants in the world, that will also own, and I will retire in LA with my wife. That's the ultimate goals right there.
Man. Great choice of city, by the way.
For sure. My wife is born and raised LA. As soon as these kids get grown, we leave it.
Don't blame me one bit. I tell people all the time that haven't been there, you gotta go once. Yeah. You gotta experience LA for what it is.
LA is nice, man.
I heard about that terrible traffic out there because we got some family that's out there in California. They talk about how bad that LA traffic is, but
yeah, you got to know time to leave.
But you're saying that like Atlanta traffic ain't bad. I mean, I know it's the pandemic and everything, but you know how it is around here.
It's still terrible.
It is. It's a lot of cussing that going on 285. You know about that.
And a lot of accidents. Hey, look, man. If anybody's in law school and you're listening, stop whatever law that you think you want to study. Stop. Do accident law and move to Atlanta. You will become rich.
You will not regret it. You will not regret it. You have money for your kids' where they drive around here.
Exactly.
Right. So the last one before we get in our game here is that we mentioned a lot of stuff about you. If we miss anything as far as where we can find you online and everything, please just let us know. And all this is going to go in the description. It'll be in the podcast description and the YouTube description. But anything that we might have missed on where we can find you online, anything else you got coming up that we might have possibly missed, we want to get all that in there because you're an interesting dude and you're a good dude despite your taste in teams, and we want to support you.
I appreciate that, man. Just make sure y'all go to Tutors on Demand. Help us with these kids. And I'm currently on a show called Your Honor on Showtime.
Great show. Great.
Yep. It was supposed to be a 3-episode arc, but second episode of me shooting, the Roro hit. So they canceled my last 2 episodes, but I'm on episode 5. So make sure y'all check it out.
It's on Showtime, by the way, if y'all want to know about Your Honor if you haven't seen it, but it's a great show, man.
Yeah.
So we didn't. Like I said, I wanted to make sure that we got everywhere where we could get you, and like I said, all that stuff we're gonna put that in the description, so people can check you out. All right. So now we had a great conversation. We've been having some fun. Now we're gonna have some more fun. All right. So we got this game that we play with our guests. It's called Don't At Me, and basically what it is I'm gonna ask you a few rapid fire questions. And you'll give your answer, and it'll be like if somebody tried to come at you like on Instagram, you'd be like, that's my answer. Like if it's Coke or Pepsi, you'd be like, it's Coke, don't at me. That's what you say. You say your answer and then you say don't at me. That's like saying, look, that's what it is. That's it.
That's good. I like this.
All right. So if we go ahead and jump in with the first one. And I'm gonna let you know right now, Keedar, I don't make these easy, man. So I'm about to really get with you on this one. All right. So let's start with the first one here. So on the weekend, do you sleep in or do you wake up early?
Wake up early. Don't at me.
See, he got the game down right there. Easy. What about you, man? What do you do on the weekend? I guess it depends on what you got going.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm not as affluent as my guy here. So, yeah, I'm sleeping in. But, once I get a few hustles like him, I'm going to have to wake up early, too. But for right now, I'm sleeping in.
All right. For me, on the weekend, I don't know, man. Look, your youngest niece, she doesn't know any boundaries. So I could be knocked
I was
out.
about to say, you definitely waking up no matter if you want to or not.
Yes.
Yeah, but here's what I don't know, or maybe I do. But I got 5 kids.
Yes.
So
Oh yeah, you ain't having no choice. Businesses or not. Yeah, all right.
Newborn, a 2-year-old, 7, and the twins are 9. I'm up early.
Yes.
Hold on, man. Man, your kids are still very young, man.
Very
and you
young.
like, hey, once they get old, we moving to LA. I'm like, okay, well his kids are teens or something. You got a long way to go, buddy.
He got a ways to go.
I got a 1-month-old.
Yeah, so
yeah, man.
So you're gonna be in Atlanta for.
It's good you planning this far ahead though, because LA is a little on the expensive side, so it gives you time to save money for the crib and everything. That makes sense.
Absolutely.
All right, cool. All right, so here's the next one. All right, Keedar, HBO Max or Disney Plus?
Oh, Disney Plus. Don't at me. I got 5 kids, son.
Yeah, I was about to say the kids are definitely gonna weigh on this decision.
But okay, he made that choice based on the fact that he got to keep the house in order, and Disney Plus will do that for you. But the adult in him wanted to say it's HBO Max, but the smart fatherly answer is whatever keeps these kids quiet, which would be Disney Plus.
Actually, it has really nothing to do with kids. Whatever would keep these kids quiet, so my wife is happy.
This is a smart man, because if mama ain't happy, you ain't gonna want to be at home.
Nobody happy.
Nobody. This is facts. I hope you're soaking in this game, Easy. You keep your girl happy, and you'll be happy.
Yeah. That's usually how it goes, right?
Exactly.
Happy wife, happy life.
Yes. Sanity. So what about you, man? HBO Max, Disney Plus?
I mean, I don't have HBO Max, so I default is Disney Plus for me.
For me,
but we know what you think.
Well, this is the thing, is that Keedar brought up a good point, because both your nieces do Disney Plus, but if it's me choosing, it's HBO Max. It's not even close. Disney doesn't have enough to hold me in. There's only so many times I can watch the Avengers, so it's definitely HBO Max right now. All right, now it's gonna start getting tougher on you here, or maybe it won't be. I don't know. Let's see. All right, Keedar. So, which would you prefer? Chick-fil-A breakfast, McDonald's breakfast?
Chick-fil-A breakfast. Don't at me. Chick-fil-A everything all day. I'm from Atlanta.
He plays it.
The loyalty to Chick-fil-A is stronger for Atlanteans than their sports teams. I just want to point that out.
Absolutely.
Like,
bro, when
you can talk shit about the Falcons, you can talk shit about the Hawks, you can talk about the Braves, but if somebody tries to slander Chick-fil-A, you will be attacked by the millions of people in the Atlanta metro area.
Because you saw him, he sat up a little bit. When I was like, Chick-fil-A, he was like, how dare you even say something against Chick-fil-A? He sat up.
Bro, Chick-fil-A is a real restaurant. It's not even fast food, so that was a bad comparison.
Okay, I bet my first criticism of a bad question on Don't At Me, I'll take it. I had him triggered on that one.
So, Chick-fil-A have restaurants where you can go in, sit down, and have a waiter come take your order and bring your food.
Really?
Yes, called dwarf houses.
Oh yeah, I seen.
Yeah, that's true.
I never knew what that meant,
bro. And they got stuff on the menu that ain't even on the regular menu. Like you can get You get a whole breakfast. Yeah, you get a whole breakfast. They scramble your eggs fresh with cheese, hash browns, all of that.
Yeah.
Damn, so an elegant Waffle House, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah, McDonald's had no shot with this question.
Bro, hold up. All right, so you brought a Waffle House. You got time for me to tell this quick story?
Go for it. You got it.
Absolutely.
We got time.
Because this Waffle House story must have something to do with a turn-up.
Nah, at all.
Oh man, no, okay.
But no, we got time. Tell it.
I still want to hear it. How
Chick-fil-A goes. So Chick-fil-A, now debt-free, $10-15 billion company, right? Chick-fil-A does not allow owners, just franchise operators, right? So there's been only 3 franchises of Chick-fil-A ever. Chick-fil-A used to be partnered with someone And when they broke partnerships, Chick-fil-A changed a little bit of their ingredients, but the other partner kept their chicken the same. You know who that partner was? Waffle House. That's why Waffle House chicken tastes almost like Chick-fil-A chicken.
Man, you learn something every day. I had
Because Waffle House is a Georgia entity, right? Their headquarters is around here, yeah.
Yes, many of us have stumbled from drunken nights into a Waffle House because
I think their partnership was somewhere where Chick-fil-A would supply them with the chicken that they eat. That recipe. I love Chick-fil-A, bro. I'm a Chick-fil-A fan. I got Chick-fil-A t-shirts around here, bro.
Okay, so you know what I just did? Right then, we've been doing this Don't At Me thing for a long time. That right there was my peanut butter in the jelly question. I just had mine. So I just bombed on that question right there.
Absolutely. Throw that joke away.
I gotta throw that question away. But I'm still gonna ask I believe I know his answer because he liked McDonald's McDonald's breakfast too. So what is it, bro? It's Chick-fil-A, McDonald's. Who's it gonna be?
For the record, I love McDonald's breakfast. It is amazing. But the answer is Chick-fil-A because McDonald's got rid of the damn bacon, egg, and cheese bagel because y'all being cheap. So F y'all, I'm going with Chick-fil-A.
There you go.
All right. For me, I'm not really a huge breakfast person. If I'm going to Chick-fil-A, I'd rather eat lunch. I'm not a huge breakfast. I will eat it. Like if my wife gets it, I will eat it.
That face is a meme down there. That face is a meme.
It is. He's like, what do you think? But if I had to choose between Chick-fil-A breakfast and McDonald's breakfast, I'm gonna choose Chick-fil-A because it is superior. Keedar was waiting on me to say something crazy. Like, hold on,
He was waiting for you to say McDonald's.
But my choice would have been lunch at Chick-fil-A though, if I had to choose either one of them.
Sure.
All right. All right. Here's the next one. Do you have a landline? Yes or no?
No. Don't at me, bro. I'm not that old. And I don't need that much of a discount on my cable.
Ooh.
Ooh, shots fired. I feel attacked. Easy. Do you have a landline? I already know the answer to this. Do you have a landline?
The answer is no.
All right.
And Key took a direct shot at me when I used to live in Memphis because I definitely picked up that landline to save money on my cable.
That's how they get you. Like, how's the cheap bundle?
Go ahead, get the bundle.
Like, oh, if you do the triple bundle, you get $40 off. Sign me the fuck up. Where did I get a landline phone from?
So I have a landline. And the reason why I have a landline
at a fax machine.
So my brother could vouch for me on this one. In my neighborhood, the signal is not that great. Yes, you can use your cell phone over here if you're on Wi-Fi, but it's over in an area where it was a point where we were making business calls out of the house, so a landline was needed for that point. And they gave me a discount on my internet for having it. So
sure.
Yeah, his estate has really thick roofing and insulation, so it's hard to get a signal through there.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate that. The estate, this guy. All right, Keedar, last one, and this is important. All right, which do you prefer, Pop-Tarts frosted or unfrosted?
Frosted. Don't at me.
Absolutely, 100%.
100%. Now I don't eat it anymore, but for sure, when I was young adult and below, frosted.
Absolutely.
All right, so I'm
some unfrosted.
Yeah, unfrosted.
I didn't even know they made those until I talked to this guy. He's on my right, by the way. Until I talked to this guy about it. And he tried to have the audacity to tell me that it was better than the frosted. I'm like,
but we got
like, are you on, bro? If you on a diet, just say you on a diet, but don't sit here and try to act like
it's better.
A frosted Pop-Tart is better.
I mean,
just a plain Pop-Tart with strawberry filling in it. Like, what are you talking about?
It depends on what you know. I mean, we got both in there. It depends on what you in the mood for, I guess.
Just say you're on a diet, bro.
I'm trying to cut back. All right? I'm just trying to cut back a little bit. He's not here for my stuff, man.
Like the frosted so much better. You can eat it as is. Like you can take it out the thing and bite into it. But if it ain't got no frosting on it, it has to be warm.
You need something to drink because your mouth gonna be.
Well, you need.
Yeah, he wasn't here for it.
I got a extra don't at me question because I just thought about it.
Okay.
So, Matt Ryan or Trae Young?
Trae Young, don't at me. Wait, hold on.
So what's up with y'all hate for Matt Ryan, man?
I said that too quick. Hold on. I said it too quick. I'm still mad.
Think about it.
Matt Ryan, don't at me, but they need to get rid of it.
But they not.
Okay. Well, they not.
They not.
Well, I seen a mock draft. They might take
Yeah, they might take the dude from.
He gonna be your. It don't matter who they take. He gonna be your starter in 2021. He not going nowhere that quick.
But they got to get rid of him after that.
So,
Hey, man, Trae Young is good, bro.
You know, a lot of people. I don't know if the same GM that made the trade is still the GM, but he gets a lot of unfair criticism about the trade that he made. You know, swapping Luka for Trae Young on draft night, and I think y'all got an extra first-round pick the following year. I'm not sure who y'all picked with that pick, but I mean, people act like Trae Young ain't an all-star and an elite player in his own right.
He ain't Luka, but you're right.
He ain't Luka.
Now, here's what I think I hope is figured out before I buy the Hawks. But for sure, what I gotta figure out when I buy the Hawks. Why can't we win? It's not like we don't get good players.
that was the question I was about to ask.
So I have a scenario.
You know what we
to
don't
answer your question.
But you know what we don't get? We don't get all-stars. We don't get superstars.
Yes, y'all get all-stars, but not superstars.
Are you talking
and I try to tell people there's a difference between an all-star and a superstar.
Yeah.
Are you talking about
because
Atlanta
an all-star?
Are you talking about
No, we're talking about basketball.
Okay.
Like, there's a huge difference between an all-star and a superstar. Like LeBron James and Kawhi Leonard, superstar. DeMar DeRozan, you know,
all-star.
Kevin Love, all-star. There's a difference. You know, one can make your team decent, playoff. Superstar, you put him with anybody, dudes that you used to hoop with down the street, they're gonna make the playoffs and probably contend. So for those of you at home that be talking about that.
And it's interesting to watch. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like
that the dynamic.
It's exciting to watch superstars. Because superstars are exciting. People get dressed up for superstars.
But that's what they move for. In you speaking about Atlanta, the city, where it's like there are some diehards out there, but it's like if the team not winning, they don't really follow them hardcore. It's like kind of bandwagon a little bit. But I got like a bonus.
Well, hold on. But to answer your question about why y'all don't get superstars, so I heard this theory from an Uber driver who happens to be an Atlantean, and it resonated with me, and I just want to see if you agree with it or not, or if you maybe have thought about it. You know a lot of celebrities, so you might know the ins and outs of this with the celebrity friends. So he told me that the reason why superstars, specifically the NBA, do not come play in Atlanta is because they side pieces live in Atlanta. And as crazy as that sounds, I was like, you know what? He might have a point.
Probably. It's enough in the world that when I become owner, I'll move them to another state.
some shush money, some shush houses, if you will.
I put them on room, give them some room and board. You know what I'm saying? I should do a whole condo of them and just ship the team out on off days.
Like a campus.
That's the whole, like the bubble, like the NBA bubble was. Just keep them over there.
Let me just go ahead and slide on in here before it happens. Can I be a part of your ownership group? I don't want to be majority owner. I just need enough to be in the building. I don't need to be Magic Johnson. I just want to be one of Magic Johnson's friends.
Bro, I swear we all can do it.
All right, I'm down. I just want to make sure I'm in there before you get to that point. Because sure. I'm a true believer in speaking it into existence.
Bro, I'm telling you, in my office, it's a picture of 191 and the Hawks. And that's it.
Keedar
It's
said
my
that
office.
he about to get them to where they want to get to. So I'm gonna ask you one more here, and we appreciate the fact you've been so generous with your time here, man. So who's gonna be the one that's gonna win for you first? The Braves, the Falcons, or the Hawks? Now I'm not gonna say that I wish demise on all Atlanta sports teams, but I wish demise on all Atlanta sports teams. But which one is gonna break through that glass and win one?
I think the Braves are due for a win, even though they blew it last year too. The Hawks are ownership away. They not.
They need you, man.
I'm telling you, bro.
Did you agree with the firing of Lord Pierce?
Did you?
From the outside looking in, I felt like this is the first year he's actually had a formidable roster. And I'm not a fan of. You didn't have expectations before. You finally got a decent roster since, the Eastern Conference Finals.
But who created this expectation? Like, it's different. Like, okay, yeah, you're in the East. It's a little bit more open than it used to be because LeBron ain't in the East no more. But what were you?
What was 16? I know you don't really like get into basketball till like close to playoff time. But from the outside looking in, they made a lot of really good moves in the offseason. Now, to Key's point, they didn't sign any superstars and nothing like that. But they signed some really good pieces like Gallinari, Bogdanovich. So they had they acquired some good pieces. So I think they were expecting them to kind of take that next step.
I think they knew they were going to fire him before the season started.
Mm.
And they said, well, we'll give him the first half of the season. If it's looking promising, we'll keep him. But if not, either we're going to tank so badly that we'll be part of that top 10, or this will fire us up and get us into the playoffs. I mean, it's not hard to get into the playoffs in the East.
No.
Or in the NBA.
Ask Orlando last year.
Right. So either this could be motivation. Say, all right, let's win. We on our own. Let's do it. Come together as a team. Or let's do it for the coach. Or they don't believe in who's it? Nate now? Who's coaching now?
It's Nate McMillan.
Nate McMillan.
So they don't either believe in Nate and think Nate won't lead them to the playoffs, and then maybe it'll be so bad that they. Charlotte is good this year. Ain't Charlotte
really good?
Yeah, Charlotte's good.
I mean, they've been
really
bad
good.
long enough. I mean, eventually it was gonna turn. They've been bad long enough.
Yeah, but it kind of came out of nowhere. Like, I don't think anybody was expecting them to make the playoffs.
No, definitely did. But Charlotte has been building quietly. I'm shocked Dallas isn't as good.
Dallas needs more.
And Luka is good, but I don't know if Luka got it to take you to the finals and win.
So you think he's reached his peak already?
I think he ain't getting faster.
No. Yeah, he didn't get drafted because of his speed. That's for sure.
And the more film we have on him, we know how many pump fakes and step back. We know what he's about to, unless he practices new moves every year. It's enough film on him to stop him.
I think he needs more help because, like, for example, Porzingis is supposed to be his number 2. But I truly believe, and this could be a hot take, whatever. I feel like John Collins is light years better than Porzingis at this point. So if he's your number 2,
right,
he's really probably more like your number 3 or number 4. So he needs like another running mate.
Yeah.
I hope they go get somebody like Andre Drummond or somebody like that that's available that can kind of help him out.
I don't like how they do Andre Drummond. So then get in your street clothes, boy. Anyway.
I can never forget that, man. That it's crazy, man. So, all right, I got one last bonus one here. We can get you more Don't At Me questions than we did anybody else, I guess, since I bombed so bad on that other one. So we've been debating this one around here, and this could be a whole other show in itself. So I've been saying for a second that I'm about ready to go ahead and crown LeBron as the greatest we've ever seen to pick up a basketball. So
right,
you going?
I'll let y'all, bro.
So you going MJ or LeBron?
Man, I'm going Kobe. Don't at me.
So you said Kobe over everybody?
If we are talking LeBron, it's hard for me to say this, but LeBron is. If we're already in the finals, if I gotta beat somebody 1 game or 7, I'm picking MJ. But if I'm talking about career, LeBron has had the better careers. LeBron has had the better career. I still think MJ is the better player.
That's an interesting take on that, because people will point to, well, Mike was 6-0 in the finals.
I'm like LeBron on to the finals.
But LeBron just goes to it's like okay, it's like how when Tom Brady went to the Bucks. I saw a meme where it was like Tom Brady just decided to take a random team and ask them, hey, y'all want to go to the Super Bowl?
Right.
And that's what LeBron do. He go get a squad. That dude took Mo Williams to the finals. So,
man,
that's what I'm saying. I think LeBron's ability to make other people around him better and take that next step is like unprecedented. Because I know you mentioned Kobe, but like Kobe's gonna be great. And it's more of like, hey, you coming with me or what? Whereas I feel like LeBron helps make other players better. And I mean, that 2006 finals team, that is literally the definition of, hey, we were hooping at Rucker Park and, hey, y'all want to come to the finals? We're not going to win, but, you know, do you want to come to the finals and enjoy the ride?
I can take you there. We can go, but we ain't going to win, though.
Yeah.
So we going.
Yeah, as far as career and team and so, like, I don't know if I had to pick 4 other strangers and we just had to play right then, would LeBron win? No. I think MJ could beat all 5 of the other people, and it didn't matter who was on his team. If you told him he had to win these 4 out of 7 right then, give him 4 strangers, MJ will win. No. I think LeBron needs that season to make sure everybody gel together and see how we gonna fit. MJ and Kobe are just saying, man, give me anybody. Game.
Oh, he said, just let's go.
Yeah.
Man, so we had what we call, I guess we can call it Don't At Me overtime just now. So appreciate you being patient and you know, keeping up with our nonsense, man. For sure, playing the. I mean, again, I'm gonna just run it down again just to make sure. So for Keedar, you can find him on Instagram at Keedar. Also, Educators Now LLC. Search YouTube and all podcast providers for the Black to School podcast. You can search him on LinkedIn, Keedar Whittle, and the website, the hub for all this is KeedarWhittle.com. So again, just to kind of put a stamp on this, Keedar, man, we appreciate the time, man. You are an absolute excellent guest. We're just appreciative that we were able to get you to come on the show. And man, we hope to talk to you again. It seems like you're well-versed on all subjects, including sports, and we do sports-centric sometimes, so maybe you come back and we shoot the breeze about some more sports if you're into that.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
we definitely appreciate the time today, and we just look forward to more conversations with you in the future, and wish you just the best in all of your endeavor.
Man, I appreciate that, man. I like what y'all got, man. Anytime, I'll be more than happy to come back. One day, maybe we do it live at Hawks game.
There you go.
Say the word, and we're also local. And you say you can hoop, so we can make that happen. Because we could be out on the court asking you which way where you want it from. So
For sure.
we can make it happen.
All right, fellas. Well, I appreciate y'all.
No, appreciate the time, Keedar.
Appreciate it, man.
All right, man.
All right. Easy. Another aftermath in the books. I don't know if we ever had a guest like this before. We done had some good ones, man, but I mean, name dropping like crazy.
Yeah, and just so casual about it.
Yes.
This just goes to show you that he's his own guy. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people, I feel like if they were in the same position as him, they'd be name dropping and doing it intentionally. Whereas he's like, hey, I'm me. You know, I'm Key. I'm doing my own thing. But by the way, I happen to be cool with, you know, I've happened to chug a beer with Gronk once or twice.
Yeah, you know, Kenan Thompson's my boy. We grew up together. You know, just tossing it out. But no, this was fun getting to know him, and I'm pretty sure that's probably not gonna be the last time that we talk to him, because you know, I feel like we were gelling. So that was good, man. So you got anything else to get off your chest before we get up out of here?
Nothing I can think of. No, that's really it.
All right. Well, for the people who have heard us for the first time, check us out on Instagram. You can follow It's the Radio Show, and I'll put it right down there where you can see that. And you know, I'll put all our information will be in the podcast description. You know, check us out, because we're not the only hosts. We're just 2 of 6 people that host this show on a regular basis. So make sure you check us out. We play underground hip hop. We review movies, food. Yeah, we talk about it. So, you know, show us some love. We're on every podcast provided on demand. We're also on YouTube, dropping every week. So we appreciate y'all listening, watching, all that good stuff. And we'll catch y'all soon. So we'll just wave to the camera. We'll catch y'all next time.